For a lot of small businesses, a network server may sound scary, confusing. Right now, perhaps in your office, you've got a small network going, you're sending files back and forth, everything's working fine. Well, absolutely, until that day you realize you may have outgrown the way you're doing things. For instance, what if an employee goes on vacation and you're locked out of those files that they have access to? Or if one computer gets a virus and spreads it across the entire network? Well, bottom line, if your office has 5 or more users, it's time you looked at a network server. It'll make things faster, you'll spend less time managing all your technology, and have more time to grow your business. I'll show you what I mean. To see a server solution in action, a great place to start is at NGX Interactive, a cutting-edge digital design firm creating interactive digital exhibits for museums and interpretive centers. Hey Lee, how you doing?
Hi Mike.
Thanks for having us down today.
My pleasure.
So I heard you got a new server. Why did you choose the Dell PowerEdge?
Well, we're ready. We're a growing company. We need a server that's going to grow with us, and we work on really strict deadlines, so we can't afford the downtime.
Do you mind if we have a look?
Let's do that.
Awesome. So this is the baby here, Lee?
This is the one.
You always keep it on top of your desk?
Normally it's underneath, yeah.
So from what I understand, this actually packs quite a punch. It's got a quad-core Intel Xeon processor in it with 8 gigabytes of 1333 megahertz DDR3 RAM, which is expandable up to 32 gigabytes.
That's right. It does sound a little like overkill, but it's not. This server is the lifeblood for our network, and it needs to run 24/7, 365. So it really has to outperform every other computer in this office combined.
Well, what I found really interesting too is it's actually got a redundant power supply, so a secondary one that runs in tandem with the first ones.
Occasionally, you know, hardware does fail, so it's nice to have a backup if one goes down, the server doesn't.
So this is also pretty good when it comes to storage. It's capable of having 4 hard drives in a RAID configuration, which is basically a safety net for all your files.
And they're hot swappable, just like the power supplies.
Well, hot swappable is a really important feature because it means you can replace that part if it goes down, and the server keeps running so that everyone in the office can still keep working. The operating system is pretty powerful too. It's running the Microsoft Windows Small Business Server 2011 Essentials, which lets all the folks in the office here share their files and back up locally. Plus, it's got the automatic backup of all the user data and the system files because it's got the multiple drives. And built in, it's got disaster recovery tools to keep the data safe.
And one thing we really like is that it has an LCD on the front, so we can always see what's happening with the machine.
Well, that's nice because you can monitor things like system alerts and also power usage.
And it's actually really good for people who work remotely. They can just use the remote web access and log in and be as proactive off-site as they are at their desks.
Always a plus. What I like too is that it's doubly secure. You've got the low-profile coin lock on the side of the case, plus a bezel lock right on the front to prevent any unwanted tampering.
Actually, Mike, for us, it's worked out perfectly. It's affordable, it's easy to manage, and it's going to be with us as we grow. It's really an investment for us.
Owning and using a server doesn't mean you have to contract out an IT department or double your budget, but it is important to pick the right server for your growing business. That means something that's easy to deploy, simple to manage, and has the flexibility to handle all your workplace requirements. Something like the Dell PowerEdge T310.